Hi, how you guys doing? Today we're going to be doing a tier list on Warzone 2's weapons after the last update because they changed the whole damage values of every gun. This is my personal opinion on how everything's going to sit for this following season. And yeah, let's just hop right into it. F-Tac Recon, long range, not that good. Up close, if you build it right for solos, is honestly a very good close quarters weapon. If you can land at least 1 to 2 headshots, you're killing in like 400 to 600 milliseconds, which is on par, if not better than all the subs. So I'm gonna personally put it in gimmick. SO14 definitely in the meta. It takes a little bit of skill to use. And let's see, Val, MP7. It doesn't even matter. It's either competitive or top tier. Let's see. I'm gonna put it in competitive because the time to kill just isn't high enough for me to definitively say that it should be in top tier meta. But it's a very very good gun. Low recoil, has decent mobility too. The MX9 I'm putting in average, either average or garbage. I'm gonna say average because in solos it's not bad. It's the 32 round mag and the damage output per mag isn't quite that good. It does kill in 600 milliseconds, but then it goes up to like 800 milliseconds. It's real wonky how they have the damage set up for it. Lockman sub MP5 back in the meta and never really left honestly. Kills in it's the fastest killing sub right now. It's 550 if you land 1 or 2 headshots. Uh, Body shots is 600 milliseconds. And yeah, the mobility is great on it. Vaznet, I wish I could put it in absolute meta, but honestly, after this new update, the damage profile on it is weird. It has great TTK, but the damage per mag is just not there. You definitely kill one, thirst somebody, and then you have to reload. You can't knock 3 people with it. 2 people. You maybe can knock 2 and get 1 thirst if you hit all headshots on the thirst, but it's still not a bad gun. It's definitely like if it had just a teeny bit more damage, it would be an absolute meta. Hurricane, I'm gonna put in top tier because they kill exactly the same. This has a bigger mag, so you get different, like you get extra attachment. Movement speed's great. It has actually really good damage per mag, so I'm gonna keep it right there. Mini Bach, in my eyes, garbage, but realistically, it's average. It's not garbage. It's pretty just like plain Jane. Mobility's okay. The only thing really good about it is the big magazine, but the time to kill is not really good at all. So I'm gonna put in average. In my eyes, it's garbage, but realistically average. The P90 absolute meta. Movement speed is fastest movement speed out of all the submachine guns. It takes a little bit longer than the Lockman sub in these to kill, but because of the movement, it's gonna feel exactly the same because they're gonna be missing shots on you, and you're not gonna be missing anything because it has barely any recoil. M4, I'm gonna put it in competitive. I want to put it in top tier, but I personally don't think it's top tier. It has good recoil, decent damage per mag, but the time to kill on it is, I think it's almost over 1,000 meters right now. Honestly, I mean not meters, but 1,000 milliseconds. It's like honestly, like it's not sitting too high with, especially compared to these other guns that we have right now. Especially to them, like you'll see like when I start putting all the meta guns up there, it's crazy what guns we have for the meta right now. Finnick, my eyes, garbage after they nerfed it when the game first came out, but reality it's average. Has okay damage per mag. It kind of kills fast, but the reload is terrible. The movement speed is mediocre. You this is a solos gun. You want to play solos just like the MX9, you're perfectly fine. Lockwood, garbage. You can only use it fire rounds, and it takes 2 shots if you want to even kill anybody with it. Expedite, I'm gonna say garbage. The Bryson though, I'm gonna put both Brysons in average because they're actually pretty decent. It takes 2 shots from both of them to kill, at I believe 15 to 20 meters. I could be wrong, but it might be a little bit shorter than that. It might be like 10 to 15. But they're pretty decent. They're nothing to look at though too much. The Socken, absolute meta. The only downfall about it is movement speed because it's a light machine gun. It has one of the best recoil patterns out of light machine guns, but on a console there's a lot of visual shake, so it's gonna feel like there's recoil, but there really isn't much. Damage per mag's crazy. You could knock a whole team and thirst them pretty well. If you're playing trios, you can knock a whole team and thirst them with just one mag, which is crazy. HCR, pretty much the same as the Socken. It has a little bit more recoil, has a little bit smaller mag. But I mean, you could also just toss 100 on it, and then I'm pretty sure they're the same, or maybe this is 75. But range is good. They got decent range. They kill both under 1,000 milliseconds. Icarus also the same. Right up there. It's gonna be a complete light machine gun meta this rest of the season. Rao, absolute meta, kills in like 800 milliseconds. Let's see, the RPK, I'm going to put in top tier because it does kill under 900 milliseconds, but you have to play with it a certain way. It only has like no recoil in the first 10 shots, and then after that it just starts just completely random. But if you burst it in like 10 shots, like in 10 shot intervals, it's going to feel like it has no recoil. TAC V, definitely top meta, snuck his way back in there. Kills in like 800 milliseconds, I think. Maybe closer to 9. Not much recoil. It will take a little bit of getting used to to control all of that. And let's see, TAC V. TAC 56. I'm gonna put in competitive, but honestly, I think it's pretty average. Most players they're gonna gravitate towards this because the low recoil that it has. Same with the M4 and the Lockman 5.56, but we'll get into that. Damage per mag is not that good. Time to kill is like 1,200 milliseconds. Honestly, I want to put in average. I really do, but yeah, no, I'm going to. It's don't get me wrong. It's still a good gun. It's just the time to kill is just not there. Rap up there in meta. Kills in 700 milliseconds. Recoil's not that bad. EBR, I'm going to put in average. SPR. See, I'm going to put it in gimmick because there's not real reason to be using it when you can just use the actual sniper. Except, like, I have a bias, though, because I love the SAB-50. The quick scope and the movement speed is just insane. I'm going to put it in gimmick. In my eyes, it's definitely competitive. It takes one shot, 2 plates, he's dead. One headshot puts him to 1 shot if they have 3 plates. So, but yeah, it's just completely like these are normally just like have fun guns is what I'm putting right here. Like you just jump in and you're just trying to use like weird stuff. MK2 balls. I'm not even gonna lie, just balls. LMS balls. TAC M balls. I'm gonna put all the 1-shot snipers in competitive. I'm not gonna put them in top tier though because they're not really top tier. I just put the MCPR up there. The Signal 50's average though. Same with the LAB. I'll put that in average because they do have better bullet velocity than the marksman rifle ones. Cast off, I'm going to put in competitive because it kills in 934 milliseconds. But again, recoil you got to be able to control. SPX, I'm going to put in average. It's pretty plain Jane. Decent movement, decent rate of fire, decent, what is it called, ADS speed. But again, you can't get the 1-shot headshot. And in my eyes, if it's not as fast as this, and they do pretty much the same thing, but this is faster, has a little bit shorter range. In my eyes, I would just use this and just run around with a small sniper and just having fun. Riot Shield, obviously gimmick weapon. Only trolls use riot shields or people that are really scared and You know, that's always been how I thought about it. P890, I'm gonna put in competitive because it's not too bad. Yeah, it's only dual wields though. Dual wields still kill fairly decent speed, but not high enough to be like, oh my god, you have to use this. Like this is like some of the other pistols on here. Deagle, I'm gonna put in garbage. X12, garbage. Basilisk snake rounds, snake shot rounds, absolute meta. It kills in 2 shots, 360 milliseconds is insane. If you could mix in a headshot in there, it drops down to like 210, which is crazy. Just instant delete, no reaction time. X13 autos, same thing, like 450 milliseconds if you mix in 2 headshots. Insane. Speed of a pistol, low recoil if you use the setup that I'm going to show you at the end of the video. And it's just crazy, honestly. P-Law, garbage. No one's in vehicles enough for you to want to use that. Strela, since it's still hit scan, I'm going to put in gimmick, but otherwise it'd be in garbage. Joker, also gimmick. These are just guns that you would want to have fun with. Same with the knife. I'm just going to move that up there now, too. Lockman 556, I'm going to toss down here an average with attack because the M4 kills faster than both of them, has a little bit more recoil. That's why it's in competitive. But both of these are fairly like no recoil. But it takes like 20 rounds to crack and drop somebody with the Lockman 556 now. And let's see, RPG, garbage. M13, I'm gonna put in competitive because the time to kill now is like 998 or 968, something like that. And the recoil is really not there. Like there's not much recoil, and it still kills fairly fast. BAS-P average. They messed the BAS-P up even worse, even though they were giving it tons of tons of buffs, but now it's just after this damage is terrible. I'm gonna put the Victus up here in competitive just because the one-shot headshot capabilities. The STB average. In my eyes, it don't kill fast enough. Yes, it doesn't have much recoil, but it also only has a 42 round mag. If you're playing duos and solos, even duos is kind of pushing it, but solos I would definitely consider. But then again, you got all these options that kill so much faster. M16 gimmick weapon, you're only going to be using that if you want to feel nostalgic. There's no real reason to actually want to use the M16. Cast off is actually is in top tier right now in my eyes. I wouldn't say competitive because there are some other subs that outbeat it, and again, it has the mobility of an AR. But I would say that it's sneaking its way back up into looking like it could be something. Sniper support definitely for this, honestly. But I wouldn't. There's other options I would pick over it, but it's still a decent pick. Cast off 545. Let me see. I personally want to put it in average because I feel like it's pretty average. Yeah, I'm gonna. It kills slower than the STB. It's only by like 40 milliseconds, but I'm gonna put it in average. Low recoil, pretty easy to use. Lockman 762. I wanna say top tier because if you're proficient with the weapon, it has a very good time to kill. But I don't know. In my eyes, it's more like a gimmick weapon. You make a sub out of it because it actually is way better up close, which is surprising. But yeah, I'm gonna put it in gimmick. I feel like it's more of a gimmick weapon. You build this battle rifle into a submachine gun. Chimera, aka Honey Badger, is going top tier. They increased the time to kill a little bit. It's 750 now. But great sniper support. I would definitely use this over other options. KB broadside. I personally don't like shotguns, but it's competitive. Hemlock is teetering between competitive and average because it has low recoil, has less damage than all the other other ones I have in this but the damage per mag is a tiny bit better than most of them. But I'm gonna put in an average because I feel like they're trying to take all the low recoil guns and make it so it takes more shots to kill. And right now, I haven't used it since they nerfed it when they did, so I personally don't even know. Honestly, I haven't hand tested that myself. I'm gonna just put in an average. Crossbow, gimmick weapon, just trying to get them clips, you know. Tempest, average. There's not too much about it that it's like, oh man, I gotta use this, you know. The FJX Imperium, competitive, one-shot capabilities. Cronin Squall, absolute long-range meta. Oh, put that in the wrong spot. Let's move that over. Absolute, the Cronin Squall. You definitely want to be using the Cronin Squall for sure. And let's see what we got. F-Tac Siege, I'll put in competitive. It's good underwater, decent time to kill out of the water, obviously, but just there, every point on like from 10 meters to 20 meters or something that outbeats it, but it's pretty decent. 72 round mag, you know, so it might be worth it. In my eyes, I don't personally like it, but it's still sitting pretty good. Full auto deagle, garbage. No point in using that. You're wasting your time. Let's see, Razorback. I'm gonna put the Razorback in competitive. I personally think the Razorback is sitting in a good spot right now. Maybe not for exactly long range per se, but in my eyes, it's sitting up there. And the ISO 45, I'm not going to put in competitive because it sits in the same spot as these two. And they all take the same amount of shots to kill. It's all the same amount of time. Mobility is roughly the same on all of them. And there's nothing special anymore. I haven't even really seen much play with this. But the times I've got killed by it, I had no reaction time, but like, there's no like time to react, but I'm gonna put it in competitive because I think it's sitting with the broadside over here. Let me move those guys together. All right, and yeah, I'm gonna throw some class videos in right after this. Just gotta go over the YouTube stuff. Like, comment, subscribe. You know, hit the notification bell if you wanna be notified when my next video goes up. Still getting used to this, and just write in the comments where or who told you, or where you seen this or who told you about it, and tell me how it was. All right, Ral H, kills so fast. MP5, great mobility, fast time to kill. Also, all of this is subjective. You can tune anything however you want. Attack V. Baskets with snake rounds, really OP. It's honestly disgusting. SO14 that's built so you have like no recoil with it and has good bullet velocity. P90 with the best mobility you could get. And then this right here is my personal favorite loadout. This is what I play with. And yeah. Alright, see you guys in the next one.